It's been a long, winding Hollywood road for Anthony Michael Hall. But the Brat Pack star of 1980s hits such as The Breakfast Club, Vacation and Weird Science is still rolling at 56 and has an acting career that has endured for almost 50 years. The actor who famously played the geek in 16 Candles 4 decades ago is now playing fathers, teachers and villains. It's about having thick skin and just being tenacious, says Hall. It's also about adapting, changing and growing. In Netflix's Trigger Warning, streaming June 21, Hall plays a malevolent U.S. senator, who gets on the wrong side of an ex-Special Forces commando, Jessica Alba. The adaptable Hall tells us about his surprising new favorite TV show and memories of his movie mentor. Anthony Michael Hall's top John Hughes movie, Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Hall starred in 4 John Hughes movies, but the actor wasn't in his favorite, the 1987 holiday classic Planes, Trains and Automobiles starring John Candy and Steve Martin. "I'm a huge fan," says Hall, "because there's so much great humor, but at its core, it's really just about friendship." The actor also keeps a permanent place in his heart for Hughes, who died in 2019. "I'm grateful for how I started and for John Hughes. Without him I wouldn't be here talking to you," says Hall. "I miss him. Flexibility is key in Hollywood, and 16 Candles, Hall is about putting in the work but taking creative chances." He recalls making 16 Candles with Hughes, his movie mentor, and shooting 3 takes of the messy aftermath of the high school party blowout at Studley Jake Ryan's house. The duo got inspired by the wrecked set in the rented house and the tomb-like glass table covered in beer cans. "John asked me, 'Do you think he could fit into that glass table?' And I was like, 'Sure John, watch this,' and I climbed into that table," says Hall, whose literal flexibility led to the Trapped Hall's iconic Jackie screech for help. John wasn't precious, because he knew his scripts were always funny. Anthony Michael Hall's TV pick for Spring Chicken Fatherhood, Ms. Rachel. Hall welcomed his first child last June at age 55 with his wife, Lucia Hall, which is an early start compared to Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, who became fathers again in 2023 at 83 and 79, respectively. "With all due respect to Mr. De Niro and Mr. Pacino, in the year they both sighed children, I feel like a spring chicken," says Hall. "I always knew that I would start later in life. I didn't think it'd be in my 50s. Michael Anthony Hall II, now 1, carries his father's given name. Hall had flipped the order of his names professionally when he started his career. The life change explains Hall's must-TV watch, the children's YouTube program Ms. Rachel. I laugh because my wife and I look at each other as we literally have the song catalog memorized. So these days, we're dancing and singing to Ms. Rachel. And as many parents will attest, Shush is a lifesaver. Shush is like a virtual preschool teacher. While Michael is content, his father is already prepping him to, someday, watch director Christopher Nolan's 2008 classic The Dark Knight, where Hall plays Gotham City TV reporter Mike Engel. "I just bought him a Batman action figure. I was joking with my wife that I can't wait for him to watch Dark Knight. I've got a nice little role in that too," says Hall. "But he started to chew on one of Batman's hands and my wife got a little upset with me. H is too young for the action figures. But one day, Anthony Michael Hall shares his new must-have hairstyle. Facing off against Michael Myers as Tommy Doyle in 2019's Halloween Kills required Hall to undergo a short haircut for the first time. Doyle died, but the hair survived. After they shaved my head, I was like, this is my favorite haircut, says Hall. It's wash and go and it really minimizes the gray. I have to be honest. The slight downside is that fans keep mixing Hall up with Law and Order, Special Victims Unit and Yellowstone star Terry Serpico. Ilda assigning and people come up to me swearing that I'm on Yellowstone and Law Order. I get confused with Terry Serpico a lot, says Hall. I have to tell them that I love that guy, and I love Michael Clayton, too. But that's not me.